All right, all right. Good night, everyone, and welcome to this episode of I gotta say Merge Minis.
Welcome to this episode of the Merge Podcast. We are so happy to have y'all this afternoon, this evening rather, and
We have some guests with
welcome.
us.
Yeah.
We have some guests with us this evening. We're gonna come to them shortly. So we're gonna spare y'all a little while. We'll introduce the guests shortly. But while we prepare to go to them, we wanna give some shout outs, Karina.
Yeah, so we want to give some shout outs to brother Kenyon Horsford coming right out of the jump, as Jane likes to say. Kenyon Horsford, we thank you for logging on this evening, and Kenyon is special to us.
Definitely.
He's really special to us. Tell us why.
We just wanna shout out his wife as well,
Yes.
Whitney, and Kenyon. We wanna say a happy Sabbath to you all and good night from here at the Merge Podcast. We wanna invite you friends to share the link, to share the live, to like and subscribe, so that we can just send these messages far and wide.
Yep. And also we have birthdays. We have a birthday today. We have actually two birthdays today.
Tell us who they are.
We have Shaniqua, Antoine Dennis, and Kaden.
Kieran Ward. We want to say a special happy birthday to them. I don't know if we have cake or anything to cut.
Oh yeah.
But we'll
Oh,
celebrate
gosh.
in your behalf. We'll
Of
celebrate
course.
in your
And
behalf.
if anybody else, if you all are celebrating birthdays and you are viewing, put it in the chat so that we can shout you out as well. And maybe we can definitely have some cake sometime.
Yes, for sure, for sure. That's
My
all like
birthday
a
is
plan.
coming up. I just wanted to let you know
Cheese
that.
and ages.
And everybody. And everybody.
all right, all right. So Karina's birthday is coming up. There you have it. When is your birthday again? Next week. I'm playing.
yes, it is next week.
Yeah, you didn't even know for a while. so tonight, we're gonna get into it. We see the numbers coming up. We waiting for y'all, as they say, share the live.
Yes. The lovely live.
So we wanna say Subway Powers, good night to you.
And Wiz the Rainbow Arax Yoshi.
Wow,
I know who that is, I think. That is Ayodele.
wow.
I think so.
You think so?
Real good sax guy.
All right, lovely, lovely. And so we're gonna get into the topic this evening.
Let me just make a disclaimer.
Uh-huh.
A little bit, stuffy. So if you all see this rag, it's just for a reason. Okay? Thank you very much.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we're gonna get right into it this evening. Our topic is dating in 2024. Who pays? Dating in 2024. Who pays? Karina, we have two gentlemen on the set with us this evening to kind of lead us through this topic. Two guys who are unmarried, and so they're still in the. So what do you mean? But they're not married, Karina?
I didn't say anything.
I never said a single, if they're available,
Right.
but they're unmarried. So
Very good.
they're still in the dating stages. So
Right.
they're professionals here to tell us about the dating in 2024, what is like in terms of who pays and that
I
type
mean,
of
and
thing.
people might say dating. We don't use that term in Trinidad. That's an American thing.
So
you
what we
know?
just say?
We going out.
Aye.
we going
We dealing.
Yeah. So I mean, I am real excited for this evening's topic, and I'm being corrected. It's Kyle from Arima Church. It's not Ayodele.
Hey Kyle, nice
My
to, nice
apologies.
nice to have you on board with us, man. No, Kyle is an AV guy, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if we mess up anything tonight, Kyle, be looking for you for the little comments to tell us how to better the stream. But anyway, guys,
Dating
we're
in
gonna get right
2024.
into it. Dating in 2024. Who pays? And with us to my right and your left, we have Joseph Dennis, and we also have
David Dennis.
beautiful.
They might be related. I think we leave that up to them. to-
Distant cousins.
Oh.
Distant cousins.
Distant cousins. So we welcome the cousins.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, good night. Happy to be back again.
Yes, man. Well,
And this is Joseph's first time in
Yep.
front of the
come
camera.
on now, man. Put it
In
up, put
front
it
of the
up, put it
camera.
up.
Now Joseph usually works behind the camera.
Yeah.
And now he's taking the deep dive
Yeah.
into
So this
in
is
front
this is usually our mainstream manager,
yes,
Joseph.
And
so-
big up Crystal one time who is
Yeah.
holding down the fort.
Yes, man.
And Kenny.
Yep,
who's in
Kenyatta.
studio. Yep.
in the
Yep.
studio here this
Yes.
evening. So we want to get right into it, guys. Dating in 2024. Who pays now is a touchy topic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a touchy topic because the women say they want equality. But do they really? do they really? Do they really? You know, Skrida, let's get into it.
Well. You know, I want to know. The people want to know. The people ask me to ask y'all. If a woman asks a guy out on a date, should he pay? And I say yes. I say the guy should pay because at the end of the day, come on, you had to prove that you could take care of a woman.
Right, so she invited me on the date.
No, we never say inviting you. She asks you out on a date.
She asked me out on a date. And she says she's saying the place where we're going to as well.
Yeah.
Well, she might have, or she might have. Yeah.
Okay, so she's saying the place where we're going as well.
Well, she may have given some options, and you could choose. But she really said, "Hey, boy, David, I think we should go out on a date. I want to go out on a date with you. You think she should pay? Or or is this contingent upon she's saying where she'd like to go, then she should pay? But I think the fella should pay.
Alright, so you think the fella should pay, right?
First date,
For
come
me,
on.
if she say, come, leave your house, let me go somewhere, you had to jump your money, dog.
But
She
if
have to jump she money.
but if it's like a first date,
fellas, let she jump she money. Listen, you can't plan something and don't have the means to follow through with it. You can't say, hey, let me go down the road. And so where we going? We walking? You had to say, alright, I invite you on a date. I wanted to come X, Y, and Z by doubles, man. I might say yes, I might say no. But if you invite me somewhere, you have to shell your coins.
So if it is you have to shell your coins, how much of her coins would she have to shell? Because is she going to pay gas too for you to reach where you have to go since she inviting you out?
No, I'm not so much fixed on how much money she had to pay. It's just the concept of you inviting me somewhere. I was eating my bread and cheese home, normal. So I'm watching my TV.
Right.
Just, I was eating my bread and cheese home, normal. So I'm watching the TV. I think that's the courteous thing to do if you invite somebody somewhere.
Well, we could see what they're saying in the chat. Okay, David, he let the girl pay on the first date. Oh my God, David, I can't fair. But yeah, so what y'all think? They said check David's mic, so he just switched it. But what y'all think? Should the woman pay if she invites out a fella, or
No, well, I gonna talk to. I want to take up David to task now. Let me try a little sand in this thing, because at the end of the day, when the woman maybe want you to prove yourself now to be her man, because if it's her man now, you know she wanted to play that role now.
Well, I am a man of principle. I am a man of principle. If you invite me somewhere, I would hope that you would be willing to pay.
The woman.
Right? But as a fella, I will always walk with money just
Alright,
in case.
okay.
I will always walk with money just in case we don't end up washing dishes in the night. I will walk with money.
Oh, in the Hyatt, David have expensive things.
She has fine taste.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would walk with money just in case that she expects me to pay.
What?
Or probably be direct and ask a question, who paid?
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for all ambiguity, let's just get it
So
out
that is
there.
something you will
and
do?
Sister Stenson is
Ask
agreeing
Vivian?
with you, by the way. Sister Stenson in the chat agreeing with David.
Thanks to suspense.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
No, but I wanna ask,
If
that is
it's
something you'll
I
do?
will do
Like
if
ask who paying?
I don't think I might do that. I don't think I might do that. But I would definitely have enough money just in case. I would definitely have money just in case if anything happens.
Right.
So I think in terms of this, first things first, I know some time ago we were talking about basically what the first date might be looking like, and it doesn't necessarily need to be something extremely expensive as the first date. So who pays is, I guess, part of it, but also it doesn't have to be the most extravagant date on the first time. It might just be to get to know the person, and that way it might be a little softer in a way, no matter who pays.
Right.
As David was saying, if the person invites you out, then there's a ambiguity to who will pay.
Right.
Depending on the circumstance, as David said, I might walk with the money. But if you don't want to be uncertain, I mean, there's this weird thing where like we are afraid to ask who will pay, but then sometimes you end up by the cash or wherever it might be, and then everybody trying to figure out who
Who
going
will
to
pay?
pay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
find
yeah.
it's better for us to not have that issue at
Yeah,
the cashier. Let's
yeah.
have it either on
Yeah.
WhatsApp
Yeah.
or while we go into the location or even
Yeah.
before we leave home.
Yeah.
So that everybody will know, okay, this is how much money I should work with.
Yeah.
Or I
If I
should
need
say,
to go
well,
to the ATM, if you're doing card, if
Yeah.
you're doing
Correct,
all the money
correct.
on one
I can
card,
appreciate what
credit
Joseph's
card.
saying because I found myself in that particular situation, not concerning dating recently,
Mhm.
Right.
but in terms of professional services.
yeah.
You know, I
Oh,
I
okay.
speak professionally, right, at different places, different
Yeah.
locations, and sometimes people come and ask me to speak for school or venue. And instead of reaching the point where, you know, you finish your speech and it's like, you don't have to wait or have to go, you don't know if it was a
Yes,
paying gig or a non-paying
Yeah.
gig. I was like, bite the bullet up front and ask. I just
That
need
is
to
it.
know, is
That is
this
it.
something pro bono, or is, you know?
Is this date pro bono? Or?
Way. And like even sometimes I mean
Just
it
to get
might-
rid of that awkwardness
yeah.
at that stage, yeah.
and it might even be it doesn't even have to be like on a date. Sometimes just asking who will pay seems to be like an awkward thing to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because even sometimes if I go out with friends, unless you real good, we will have that conversation. But sometimes you reach and it's like, I always prepare to cover me, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, you know, I probably say let me go out and then
You
I don't know if you had intention that
Yeah.
I was going and pay, but
Correct,
you know,
correct.
so that was like a little awkward. But Crystal gets
Careful, and your friends listening online.
Yeah.
So
Me good with Queen
So-
and again. Nah?
Crystal getting to saying a basic Sesame Street philosophy, asking questions is a great way to find out things.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a good
Yeah.
thing, you know. But too much questions get turned off. What about the woman who
No, well,
asked the question and she started judge you one time because the questions is good and understand what I'm saying. Crystal Gittins, yeah. Oh, I know Crystal, man.
yeah.
So understand what I'm saying is like questions is a good thing to ask, but in the context of a dating relationship, a girl comes up to you, she wants to go out on a date for the first time. She says, "Hey, we must go so and so and so. What about?" And you start a question. So who paying? you intend to
Yeah.
pay?
I
Or?
think the important thing would be however you phrase the question. So
Right.
you wouldn't just ask, right, hey, you pay, right? You gotta find
You gotta be
a
tactful.
proper way to
Yeah.
ask, is it that you expect me to pay or you want me to cover the bill for both of us? Whatever it is, find a nice way that the person's character might appreciate to ask each question.
I would like
Yeah.
somebody in the comments to give us a nice way to ask that
Yeah, yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, in
Yeah.
all practicality, I'm trying to figure out how can I phrase that boy
Yeah.
to not come out
Okay,
course.
a good way
Oh,
to
Lord.
give them a scenario
Mm-hmm.
about that. So you can
I'm sorry.
So Monday,
There
you
wa-
talk about going on a date, you say, yeah, no problem. And then Tuesday, you drop a question. Hey, you know, I see this video on YouTube. You know, some X, Y, and Z. You think that person should pay? Switching, sorry. Yeah. You think that person should pay if they invite the person on a date? So just give it as a scenario so that it isn't targeted. Yeah, so that the person doesn't feel targeted when
Okay.
when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
It's quite funny,
I
funny.
think, well, it depends on the circumstances, I always say. But the question would be a tough question to ask, probably the first time. But I would say maybe speaking about open communication before that, so that even tougher questions might be that difficult to now approach.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, okay, I prefer to be more openly communicated. I don't want it to be that we're trying to figure out what's going to be happening from time to time and we're not sure and then you're not sure and then I'm not sure.
So you
and
have
nobody
guiding
knows.
principles
Yeah, so
for it.
understanding that, this is why I'm asking the question. It's not that I want you to pay,
Yeah.
but just to understand what will we be doing from time to time, whatever the case might be. So,
Okay. Sounds good.
Wow.
Sounds very good. I'm very scared.
No,
I'm
like
very scared.
literally people
No,
in the
because
chat-
I've been burned by these types of things already. I went
People-
out.
No, all people in the chat. Well, sorry.
Go ahead,
sorry
go
to
ahead,
stop
no,
it,
go ahead.
but our viewers are saying Sabrina Nichols, big up,
Oh,
You-
Oh, Sabrina.
and
Sorry.
Nicholas. I
And
hope you're
Sabrina's
joining us
family,
as well. Sabrina is saying you cannot plan to go somewhere and you cannot pay for it, and assume that the other person will pay.
No, that is the truth, but it happens.
Yeah. And Crystal Gittins is saying, well, if she brave enough to shrug conventions and make the first move, then she should be brave enough to pull out her wallet.
Agreed. Give
Yeah.
Crystal our Nobel Peace Prize.
Persons are not hearing Joseph and Karina, and that's me properly. So
we do apologize,
we
guys.
apologize.
Our tech team, we're working it out.
Yeah.
We're working it out. But thanks so much for the feedback. We thrive on the feedback. So getting back into the topic, and the reason I was saying just now before Karina interjected, there was interjected is not a problem. You could interject. You could interject. Oh, you want us to have a discussion about how it is? Yeah. You could interject, man. But what I was saying is that I have been burnt by scenarios like this when I was single. You know, really, I remember going out with a particular young lady and some friends. It was not a planned date, and the person put everybody bill on me. Involuntarily. Was like, yes, it happened. They were like, it was just a few of us. It was like 3 of us, and it was not dinner date or anything. But they were like, oh yeah, Jayden will pay. What? Yeah, and went up to the counter and started ordering stuff, and Jayden will pay, and I am there. Yeah. My father trained me, so.
So what's the how you initially acted when the person said Jayden will pay?
I was flabbergasted. But I didn't show it. I just took it with grace. And everybody went on, and I went and I paid.
That was our last line.
And
Tell it that.
You not. I kid you not. I was like, okay, there are some things you have to do in life to learn.
Yeah.
And those are very important lessons to learn.
But I don't know why people feel that that's okay to do under no circumstance. And unless that's a normal thing in your friend group, that everybody, David will get the bill this time. Okay, Joseph will pick it up
but
this
if
time.
we agreed that David will get the bill,
Well, that's what
and
I'm
David
saying.
agreed that he would take the bill.
Yeah.
That person had a group meeting with themselves
Yeah.
and decided that you would pay.
Wow. I know you're speaking about a nice, palatable way to ask. Nicola in the chat is saying, how you could get. Listen, I'll just read what she said, right? She said, hey, I'm happy to contribute or cover the bill. What's your preference? So in this way, you say what you can do, but you give it to the guy to.
Yeah, that's a smart way.
nice,
That's
that's
a smart
nice.
way to put it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice. That's
Yeah.
a wise one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think too, based upon what she's saying now, getting some inspiration here, the onus may be upon the person who's doing the asking to actually state what is the arrangement.
Yeah.
So if I am asking somebody out on a date, I need to upfront when I'm asking also tell them I will my treat. We going out to meet me at Starbucks or something, my treat.
Right. I understand, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Any other
When
ways
somebody
you
says
can
my
support-
treat, I got it.
Hey, careful now.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Yeah, I was just saying that any other ways kind of like inbox for prices. Like I try to figure out
Yeah.
what's that supposed to be, So
I
it's a more difficult thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I hate that way.
Yeah, bro. You're watching the picture, you're watching everything, and
everybody.
inbox surprise, and then it never
No, I understand the rationale. Anyway, that's another topic for another time.
So the other thing I wanted to ask is generally there's some weird phenomena that occurs where sometimes people expect, or I would say women expect sometimes, that men their same age would be at a different financial stage as them.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 people are 21, 2 people will have gone to school, gone to university, probably final year of university, whatever the case might be. But somehow the man is expected, and we talk about who will pay, that he will be able to cover all expenses when we are at the same stage in our lives.
Yeah.
Same scrunters.
Poverty hit hard.
Oh my word.
Somehow, one person is supposed to be ahead of the other person. So I was trying to figure out how that may be the case. Perception.
I think it's a double standard that we have in society. Yeah, we have double standards. Sometimes we claim we want equality, we want this, we want that, but the same measuring stick we use, we don't use it to measure everything and everybody. And part of it can be cultural. Part of it can even be some people's interpretation of scripture. I'll get quiet.
Maybe just restate the question, just in case who might so that people will hear what I was asking.
Oh, he was basically asking, where's asking again?
Asking about
Yes.
basically, why is the male expected to be further in life
Yeah.
even though they are the same age?
Yeah, so
Financially.
a male and a female that the same stage, they're in the early 20s, but the guy is somehow expected to have car and to take her out and all this thing when both of you all just came out of secondary school and entered university.
Yeah.
But somehow the woman is the man is expected.
Is it that males, we sometimes kind of posture ourselves as in we have it all together at a young age? And is it that because sometimes, well, males might do that in order to show a girl, hey, I ready, you know, I ready.
Yeah.
I could be a man or I could be
True.
a boyfriend or whatever
True.
age. So is it that males will do that? Then after when the time comes to really jump your money, say, hey, we equal, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true, no, because some of them, I've been to university, some of them driving their parents' vehicle and coming and picking up the girl in style, you know. You understand? Opening door and thing. It's your father vehicle driving, behave yourself. Now you
Right.
get to know like you
Make 10 and 2. So make it clear that is not your vehicle.
Yeah, you know, and that you're still growing in life.
Because if I as a man and I pose like I have it all together and the woman starts to ask me for money or expecting that I pay on dates, I can't get, as a man, I can't get angry, you know, because I kind of set in the culture of the relationship.
Yeah.
And if we are the same age and I'm saying, yeah, well, you don't worry, I will pay for everything. You can't get vexed with the girl for that.
Right.
Sometimes people try to get people a certain way but keep them in another way.
Yeah.
Which is you get the person with you spend money, and then you upset at the person like, why not spending money? And then That's why I signed up for. I was an ATM. I'm coming to the ATM.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So you can't get upset if that's the expectation the person has based on what you set at the beginning, which is set the right expectations. And
Yeah.
So is it that society has set some expectations for men to be ahead financially than women, even though you know, not thinking about the age factor, because where else would we just get that expectation from?
We have Internet Explorer and Google Chrome.
I just tried.
We have Internet Explorer expectations, which is
Okay. Okay, yeah. Right.
You would have been working.
Right.
We live in 2024 when times might be a little bit more
Okay.
difficult
Yeah.
and there's a little bit more equality in the workplace where the salaries may be the same, because if we even look at it, let's say a scenario, both of us work in the same place. We've started working at the same time.
Yeah.
I know your salary, you know my salary. It can't be that I pay every time.
Right.
Yes.
You understand? So,
Yeah.
so I think that's what's happening. We have a mindset of, okay, the man should always pay, even though we're in a different, the society looks a bit different from
Yes.
the time where that would have been true, mostly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I'm wondering too, in terms of part of the problem, males and females at the same stage, men expect it to be different. If it could be that some women are looking for men who come from generational wealth, you know, in terms of,
That's a good way.
you know, so if that,
Oh my
yeah, because
word.
if that is your expectation, then you know, daddy gave him this car, you know, he
Okay.
has this, and there are men like that out here.
Right.
There are a lot of men like that out here.
Right.
Who I know parents who, before the child even reach 18, that apartment over there is for him, that business is for her, that car is for this
Big
one.
up them parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big up them parents,
Yeah.
you know.
Give
So
you a head start.
is it that
Yeah.
the women looking for these types of, and if you're looking for them, be honest, ladies, say what you're looking for, be honest with
And
yourself first of all.
And I personally
But
don't
not everybody like that.
I personally don't think that's a bad thing. Because if I have a daughter
Right.
and you bring her home, I waste of time, man. Sorry to put it like that.
Hold on, why is that waste of time, man? Let me hear you.
Listen, I waste.
Yeah.
Okay, way by
Don't get cancer.
I waste of time, man. Okay, the person doesn't have a plan for their life.
Right,
So you
okay,
can ask
okay.
them, what you want to be in life. Okay, cool. I want to do this. I want to accomplish that. And after I ask, okay, so what you're doing currently to accomplish those goals? And they start, beatboxing. Well, you know, and they have no answer to that. That means they really have no plan. So
Right.
a waste of time man will be a man with no plan.
Okay,
Simply
okay.
put.
So if the girl bring him a waste of time, man, you'll tell her,
No, well, I wouldn't be vexed at the man, and I'd be vexed at my daughter for picking her waste that time, man. So I wouldn't berate the young man, but I'd be upset with my daughter.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Understood. And we were discussing earlier too about social media and the impact of how, we sometimes as men, women, young people, we look up to persons who have financially attained that are way older than our generation. So as we are talking, Joseph, we're talking about what's the guy name?
You talk about Andrew Tate, you talk about
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
Fully grown man.
Fully grown man.
Fully grown man.
Yeah.
And want to tell you about where you reach in life and your achievement. You understand? And the 25-year-old and 22-year-olds looking at these guys, Andrew Tate and whatnot, and want to drive Lamborghini. And the women now watching at that lifestyle and want to go to America. Oh, yeah, them fellas, that is that. It's unrealistic.
Okay.
It's unrealistic.
But as they always say with the Instagram effect, sorry, Zuckerberg, I apologize. But social media effect is that you see the highlights of everybody's lives.
Right.
So you think this is what everybody else
Looks like.
and lives like. And so you expect that when you come and you watch our Joseph and say, so you don't have a Lamborghini. Where your Lamborghini is?
But Joseph, if I look at your social media, I go jealous you.
Yeah.
If
That-
I didn't know Joseph,
Born the
I
best.
social media,
Born the
I
best.
jealous you.
No, you can take that too.
Yeah, I can take it two ways. Because when I actually meet you, I realize you're poor.
No. I mean, like you will degrade your life. You'll
Yeah.
degrade your
Yeah.
life and be so dissatisfied
Mhm,
because
mhm.
I mean, when you watch our Joseph social
Yeah,
media,
it lit.
the kind of things he
It
does
lit.
Every weekend he
Watch
going
that
out, boy.
every
Like,
weekend.
what trouble is this,
Golf,
boy?
Joseph, Aquaman,
You understand?
Black
I-
Aquaman.
So when I see Joseph, it's just like Joseph. Where you get to do that way?
Yeah,
Tell me
yeah,
about
yeah.
that way. So if that is all the things someone is
Yeah.
seeing, they may really not be living in a real world.
Yeah.
That's what he said. You see
But-
the highlights of their life.
Yeah.
But could see the highlights of someone else's life push me to do more. So isn't that degree
pressure.
a good thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Put,
So you
put
have some,
pressure.
you
'Cause-
stress.
Yeah, because pressure is a good thing, Because
Yeah.
if you saying, wait, boy, this man have X, Y, and Z, most times some of them just be honest and tell you, here what, I had some real bad years and I
Yeah.
work like a dog.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
these things that's in here, I work pretty hard for.
Yep.
So some of them, will say, well, I work pretty hard, and some will be like, oh gosh, it's just easy. So yeah, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought.
No,
Sorry.
you're
Yeah,
saying
well,
about pressure.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Right,
working
so
hard.
yeah, so sometimes the pressure that it might put on you, Instagram, seeing persons with things would push you to get some money.
Yeah.
Drive your
That's true,
Lambo.
that's true.
Well, listen, I
And I
love-
mean, if you watch
Yeah.
David,
But the Instagram don't show you the
Wait,
struggle.
wait,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah.
They
But
don't
if
show
you
how
watch-
to get the money.
But if you watch David Instagram now, David is a man like to post about discipline. He's
yes,
about
I do.
discipline.
Yes, I do.
And I mean, that is motivating.
Yeah,
You know, if
yeah.
I see David thing, I'll be
Yeah.
like, wait, boy, David is a man of discipline, boy.
Yeah.
Dennis Wood working for the win.
Yeah.
He making that, and it will push me to be, hey, I
Yeah.
need to have a
Discipline.
little discipline.
Yeah, and the reason I was saying that too is because when you look at, these two gentlemen, you look at their social media profiles and stuff. I don't know, I don't have a handle to show them.
We have Bond the best, and we have
David Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple.
But when you look at it, if you try to emulate your life after the highlight reel of someone, you'd
Yeah.
reach in a very unsatisfied and unrealistic place in
Correct.
your experience.
Correct.
Because the reality of it is, Joseph don't show you when he done grinding, when he have exams, and where he when he go to camp, and he have things studying.
Yeah.
You just see the time when he go and he play the volleyball. You see the time he go and he do the thing, he play the sweat.
He
you
play
see
golf,
that.
you know?
That's what you
Yeah.
see when he go and he play the golf, when he go scuba diving. That's what you saw.
Yeah, yeah.
But really and truly, on the back end of that, 80% of the time is the grind. So if in other words, the reality of it is bringing it back to dating now. If a little young lady is looking at Joseph on social media, and that is all she wants
Hello.
from him,
Don't
that
look too
lifestyle.
hard.
Cricks
Then
and
you-
cheese, you know. Joke, I joke. Yeah, but
then you'll be disappointed when you
Yeah,
come
yeah,
in the
yeah.
fact that with this guy does actually have days where he works hard
yeah.
and where he doesn't have time to do those fun stuff, because that's the reality. And when we look at the whole dating experience and who pays and all this kind of
Yeah.
thing, women And people on social media in general need to be realistic about their expectations of where a male or where a female should be, because this is life, yo.
Yes.
But I wanna ask a question, right? So kind of similar, but if like say I'm carrying out a girl, right, for 6 months or so, and she never offers to pay, is that a red flag or?
Sus.
Yeah.
You see, man, dog, you should just.
Sus.
What's the problem? Why are you even checking the time?
Wow.
Is that a red flag?
I think it's okay. First, I have a question. Does she work?
No. Yes.
Right.
We both
so
work.
she work. So you both work.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely a red flag. Yeah, I see people in the studio saying yes. I think that's a red flag because it says something about you as an individual, right? One, do you
The audience, let's all hear.
why are you expecting this person whom I guess you want to have this relationship with to always put out and in a way, I'm gonna put on my rag, in a way, sacrifice when you are, well, by paying for both of us, you're making a sacrifice, right? Because you haven't started to build a life together.
Yeah.
Formally, through marriage and all those financial things, but you can't just only be taking.
Yeah.
That mentality is one of like, what is called?
Say it.
Well,
Don't
like
break.
a pest, like a
leech.
parasite,
Right.
like
Parasite,
a leech.
yeah.
You don't want to be like a leech. And I was looking at some videos before, and they were saying almost normally they were saying who pays on a date, and the couple was like, well, they're both of us, we split the bill half, and like it's like a normal thing now. But
Yeah.
for somebody who still has that kind of mentality and they are never extending themselves, then I say, nah, that's red flag. Because when you get into a relationship, are you just not going? You're just gonna save up, fatten up yourself, take care of your business, and just leave the other person high and dry, and the other person taking care of you. Is that what you want to to take care of you? Nah.
Yeah, but
What?
you say no, but it have women there who looking for
I am sure
somebody to
that there are
replace their
women.
father.
I'm
Daddy
sure
was
that
taking
there
care
are
of me.
women like
I come
that.
out of my father house, I had everything. in it.
But David,
I don't
asked if
understand.
yeah, but he
I mean,
asked if
that's
it's a red
reality.
flag, and to me, that's a red
Yeah.
flag.
That's a red flag by
that's a red
Makoya.
flag. Yeah. That,
Okay.
yeah, the way
No, I
we
think
know
it's a
this
red
is-
flag, definitely. If you're in a
If you
relationship,
think it's a red flag, put it in the chat.
If you don't think it's a red flag, put it
Put
in
it
the
in
chat.
chat.
Let me
Yeah,
see
yeah.
ya.
oh gosh, are you looking to
Or don't say love you say like I can beat that.
Let us see you, please. We are not going to judge you anyhow. Yes.
wink, wink.
Somebody say a gold digger.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's a red flag, definitely. Definitely is a red flag. I mean, you working, I working, you never offer to pay in the lease form. I think you need to first of all, I wouldn't even go the extra step as to judge the person differently or to condemn them per se. I would try to find out where they are.
Yeah.
Where they are mentally, because I think finding that out will help you to understand
True.
if you want to go ahead with this relationship.
Okay.
Yes or no.
True.
If it is of such that the person, because there are people who are working who not well financially, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
maybe if a family member is sick and they help and contribute to that or something. So you're strapped.
But
If-
could never pay.
But-
6 months.
But
I
what-
think
well,
communicating
6
it,
months
but
are
yeah.
too long. 6 months for me. 6 months not too long if you have extenuating circumstances, like a member of the family sick.
but
Somebody say looking for free meals.
okay, but is it that
Wow.
right? We could blame the man for letting it go on for so long.
Good question.
Is it that because you allowed this thing to fester for 6 months? This is the first trimester, second trimester, and 6 months you now wake up. I wonder if there's a red flag,
Maybe
boy.
he was trying to analyze it to see every time when they're going out. I wonder if she'll pay this time.
Yeah, you waiting to see.
She
Even
nice.
a
She's a
little-
nice girl now.
Even a little pull to the side to see if I have a purse with me. You know,
Yeah.
that's how-
Or if it had tip. Let me
Yeah,
pretend.
but check
like I
something.
check
I'm gonna check
No, what
something.
Karina say something there that ring a bell in my mind, because she say maybe she's a nice girl, so you're trying to find plenty fellas.
They get
Just
trapped.
get real clung
They get
because you get nice in her.
Yeah.
You spending your money, you know business about red flag, nothing. You just running through
She's
all the
sweet.
red flag because
Just
she
know
nice.
what the person should bash,
No,
bash, bash.
why you Stop simping, guys.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Somebody
but-
waving red flag in the chat, yes?
I think really and truly, if we go with a scenario of 6 months and fellas, which camera we on? This one right here. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you all something. If 6 months pass and she is not at all interested in even appearing to be reasonable in the form of like figuring out if I should maybe contribute, not even pay for the whole thing, but contribute, she does not like you. You heard it from me here first. Because even in any, and this is outside of just a romantic relationship, even in a friendship, if you want to be friends with this person, you want to at least appear reasonable.
Okay.
You never want to appear unreasonable.
Okay.
And unreasonable, in most people's minds, will be that we are in this relationship, whether it be friendship or not, and I am never contributing, in this case, financially at all. And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
For most people, that will be unreasonable, and you'll
Yeah.
recognize that. So if the person has no problem with appearing reasonable, it means they are not completely invested in the future for this. So if we break up tomorrow, it's cool, you know?
Right.
If you understand.
Right.
So they don't really care whether or not it continues or not. So they wouldn't want to appear reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is why I said that.
Simply, she don't like you.
Yeah,
She don't like
you.
She don't like
Because
you.
I'm gonna tell you something. Love gives.
Mm-hmm.
Love
That
gives.
principle.
I don't care if you're a gift giving type, you're not a gift giving type. There's something characteristic about love is that you want to give of yourself.
Yeah.
You want to give of your means, you want to give of your time, you want to give of your energy. That's what love is.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Because the
Yeah.
Bible says, for God so loved the world that he give. So
Mhm.
that's a quality of love. And if you find somebody is with you and they only sit down in your car taking on all this space, gas, this, that, everything,
Yeah.
they
The
can't
only
give
one
that
is.
thing.
Yeah.
They
The
can't
only
even
one
give,
is.
oh gosh, don't talk about, they can't even give good conversation. And they kind of like, bro, mash your brakes. As Joseph says, she does not like you,
Yeah.
she taking you for a ride.
Oh, you
Or rather,
taking
you
her far, right? Wow.
Yeah. So as we bring in the first half to our wrap, guys, remember to share the link, right? But I have a last question to ask before we go on.
No problem.
In terms of the guys, you're spending money. Why it is in our society, the guy is expected sometimes, and in some quarters of society, the guy is expected to spend on the date, to carry her out, to wine and dine, to be all this romantic stuff. And then when he is broken financially, he's still the one when they're ready to get married. He has to fork out the money for the house and all those things.
Who said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
Well, it's not with us, maybe with us here on this platform, but there are quarters of society
Right.
that I know where men taking care of everything, so they're in the
Okay.
dating relationship, and I think it's a
And even if both parties work?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, there are women
Well, boy.
who's throwing up bag here on the man here, you know.
I will say if
You
you go
understand?
spend.
And then, yeah. So right, they saying your money is our money.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your
My
yeah.
money is
My
my money.
is my money, but your money is our money. That kind of mentality. So spend it. And then they expect the guy to be prepared for marriage. I think it's crazy that people out here, women,
Yeah.
maybe not in our circles,
Not in our circle
Not
at
in
all.
our
Not in
circles
our
at
circle
all.
at all.
but in some circles, they want to go to this fete and they want a new outfit from the man. You want to
You have
wear
to do
this
your nails,
clothes.
you have to do your
He have to
nails
do your
and your hair.
nails. You have to
And
do
your
your
hair.
hair for you, whatever. And you sometimes living with this man for years, and you want him to get the financial fortitude to marry you and to wife you and teach you.
Wedding
and
must be
assist for-
nice to her by
Come
the
on.
way.
Come marriage,
By the way.
wedding requires money.
It requires money.
Plenty money.
Wedding, marriage, everything requires money.
House.
So yeah, I just saying a message to the women out here. If it is that the guy is footing the bill and you want to get married, you want him to even think about marriage, probably let off the gas a little bit in your dating life now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be reasonable.
Yeah,
as
take a little
Joseph would
coconut
say.
water and settle it for,
Save,
you know.
Yeah.
save the money to buy bricks and concrete.
Yeah. Because
Right.
the reality of it is, and I'm speaking about as a married man here, and
Mm.
speaking to a lot of other married men that are young, especially,
Or unmarried men.
or
That's how you-
unmarried men that are young.
Yeah.
Marriage could be an intimidating thing for a guy who doesn't have his financial settled.
Definitely.
It can be very intimidating. So sometimes it just might be that your man not want to broach the topic of marriage because
He not where he
he
financially.
not where, and sometimes it is due to the types of dates all going on. So just put that in your skyrocket, you know. that's an Australian too. If we have any.
Welcome to Down Under. Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense because you can't save money if you're only spending the money all the time.
And I totally agree with that. Like for when in the dating phase, I don't think you should be paying out large amount of sums of money. That if you lose, you would be upset.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I shouldn't go on a date and say, boy, I spent 600 this evening.
Mhm.
And if it don't go well, you sit down home mad.
Yeah.
If I spend 600, I part ways with that 600.
Happy.
Good,
Yeah.
boom. And I shouldn't be feeling no
Yeah,
kind of way of spending.
that is it.
But if you know you're going to hurt if you spend that 600 and she don't like you,
Spend
don't
too much.
spend the money.
Yeah.
Put it in the credit union, half on shares, half on deposit. Half on shares, half on deposit. Yeah,
You
those,
heard it here first.
yeah, those, yeah. So if you're not sure and if it will hurt you,
Yeah.
if she asks to go expensive, listen, I can't go that expensive.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
we can't go.
We can't go.
You could go.
Wait a minute, what?
No, it's something funny, and you
Yeah,
know,
it's
it
true,
kicks
true.
in, but that's a reality, you know,
Mhm.
because you have guys and stuff, especially like in Hollywood, in the movie industry and in the movie world, where you know you spend so much money in night, you're expecting something. You understand? You see, I expecting something, and I saw even this comedian Junior Lee, he did a little thing about that the other day, where he went out with the girl and he spent it, buy what you want, girl, my lobster, this, eat that, and when he realized. When they finished, it was time just for them to part ways and go home. He walking like, you know, you have money for me, right? So, you know, people, and there's a reality behind that joke where there are
Right.
people when they put out that amount of money, there's an expectation of a
Expectation.
return. And I find there should not
I
be no
find it
strings
should
attached
not
like
be nobody loves slave.
that.
Yeah.
That is another topic for another time, but to me, that is prostitution, eh?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that's prostitution.
Why you say that? Why you say that? Though?
If you are going out simply with somebody and giving them sex for exchange
whatever
for
favors,
some type
what
of
kinda-
something, whatever it is,
Yeah.
that's prostitution. That's 2024 prostitution.
Yeah.
People don't like them on Morris Street again. You know? No, they don't like them on
Nice.
Morris Street.
They
They do
post
the
on
hair.
Instagram.
You understand?
Yeah.
They post on Instagram. I want to have a fella to do my hair,
Yeah.
one for my nails, one
Your
for my
name
outfit.
save as food.
Yeah, no, sorry.
I do blame the woman.
Yeah, me blame the
I
shit.
blame the men.
Yeah.
But I don't blame the men. I blame the women.
Nah.
I blame the men because if all the time she talking to you, a gyro must be involved. That don't make sense.
With pineapples.
No, but if we're not speaking from a Christocentric perspective here, but if the guy is buying the gyro and getting what he wants, well,
Good point.
Right.
Good point.
so in other words, there are some men who will buy the latest iPhone. You know, for the girlfriend, they'll buy the latest, are buying that, are buying just something for her, but they are actually paying for
Yeah.
what they want. So it is a mutually beneficial something, you know. And that is why it continues to propagate itself, because it is mutually beneficial. But it is very wrong. It is prostitution, because prostitution is the selling of virtue for money, and that's what you're doing. Guys, it was
Mic
heavy.
hot, boy. The mic hot.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the last podcast.
So long.
my word. Yeah, next one. Don't miss it.
Next one, man. Weekly, of course. So, guys,
We have
Huh?
online polls, huh?
yeah. So we're going to the break now, guys. And so we have some announcements that Kareina is going to share with us. Now, as we break, we're going to break. Thanks, guys, for joining us this evening.
Yes.
Any
No
final
problem.
words
It was
before we close?
lovely.
Just be invest your time and money wisely. That's what I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
In the dating, whenever invest your time and money wisely. Think about the decisions before you make them. Generally, and yeah, that's about it for me.
Beautiful,
Nice.
Joseph.
I would say, men shouldn't be afraid to lead. Of course, we know the whole meaning of
Mhm.
the proper meaning of lead.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a relationship is a mutually arranged agreement.
Right.
And both persons will have to contribute, and they will contribute in the ways that they should. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Beautiful. Thanks,
Lovely.
gentlemen. It was lively, it was heated, it was well
insightful
discussed,
too.
insightful.
Yeah.
That's Joseph and David. So we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we have Pastor Randy Dixon with us. He's going to delve a little bit deeper into this topic, give us a different perspective. So don't go away. Share the live. Put it on your socials, and of course, we asking you all to subscribe. A
Yes.
vast majority of y'all who are viewing are not subscribed, so please do subscribe. Karina, we have some announcements.
Yep, and we have these very special announcements this evening. There is a show coming up. It's a theatrical presentation called Borderlines Backward, and it's by our very well-known friend Darren Sandy, and Idris Salim would also be on that show. It's happening on Saturday the 30th of November 2024 and on Sunday the 1st of December 2024 at the Central Bank Auditorium. Borderlines Backwards is a show that you cannot afford to miss. And if you are interested in tickets, you can call 719-8769. That number again is 719-8769. And that's Darren Sandy, Borderlines Backwards. And I don't know if you heard about it, but we have been playing volleyball. When I say we, some Maloney folk, some Maloney ladies, and we have our amateur volleyball competition, women's amateur volleyball competition coming up on Saturday the 26th of October at the Tacarigua Indoor Sport Facility from 7 to 11 p.m. And this is an invitation to you viewers. You can come down to the Tacarigua Indoor Sport Facility on the 26th of October from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And there is no cost attached. You can come out and support your teams. We have teams like Maloney Bomb Squad 1 and 2. We have Good News. We have Ruka and Diego Martin, Maraval, and the like. We might even have some more teams coming out. So come out and support your team. Now Maloney is wearing red, so you can support.
I must give a message to the young men. These ladies are going out to play volleyball. A word to the wise is sufficient. I mean, let's be real, Karina. These social occasions,
Yes.
I think, among Christians,
Right.
are a really good place
To
for a young man to set
Right.
his eyes on a damsel.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah. So you guys, you don't want to miss it. All the best amateur volleyball players gonna be coming out in their numbers, guys. We're gonna come out in our numbers to support our
Yes.
teams. We're gonna have a wonderful Christian time in Jesus' name. You don't wanna miss it at all. That's October the 26th, Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
You just grab your grub at Eddie Hart
Yep.
and come right over to the indoor facility.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, Karina, we have a couple questions. We have 2 polls that we want to put up for you guys who are online. We want you all to answer those polls. These polls will really help us to understand a thing or two about our society. The polls are anonymous, so we're not going to know who voted, what you voted. And so we want to ask the first poll, and we're going to put it up at this time. Do you think men still take the financial weight in dating in 2024? We're not asking you what you think it should be.
Yeah.
We're asking you what you think it is. And so is the poll up? Or are we getting it up? All right. So the poll is going to be up shortly. Do you think men still take the financial weight in dating in 2024? And the second one, Karina, you want to?
Ladies, would you knowingly date a man if you know that he was dead broke? Will you willingly date a man knowingly? Sorry.
Would you date a man knowing? You're tying me up now. Would you date a man if you knew he was dead broke? That's the question. Would you date a man if you know he was dead broke? So we're going to get those 2 polls. We hope that by the later on in the program, we'll give you the results of the poll so you can know how all of us as a community, what we believe, what we think, and this data will drive our future episodes as well. Yeah. So thank you. We're going to do something else now before we get to Pastor Dixon. One more thing is we want one of you, our online viewers, to be right here in studio with us. You all have been really engaging, Kareina.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't have had a podcast without online viewers. Then who will watch the podcast?
Yeah, and we're happy that you're a part of this program. We want one of you to be on set here to share with us your opinions, your thoughts. And so we want to take at this time let's just take the first 4. Just put volunteer somebody's name in the chat. We're going to write it down. And then we're going to pick one of those 4.
Yep. Let me see.
We're going to pick one of those 4 persons.
Go ahead. I'm waiting for the names in the chat.
All right, we're going to pick one of those 4 persons to be in our November edition of the podcast. In
Sabrina
November.
Nichols want to know if she could come.
Sabrina, of course you can come. Volunteer yourself. I know who's selling the tickets. You know, they say
Somebody
in
said
this
Putin.
episode, Putin. Oh, they're real. So volunteer somebody. Volunteer somebody.
Sabrina. Okay.
Sabrina is all the way in Canada. So we don't have
We cannot.
we are a little fledgling channel.
Yeah,
All I feel is Mr. Beast are watching.
Yeah, but we can't subsidize her airfare. Jassy boy, all right, Jassy. Jassy. All right, so
Oh
we have
gosh,
Jassy.
Sabrina's a popular vote
Yeah,
boy.
boy.
Well, listen, with the money I will bring her. Yeah.
Bring down Sabrina.
We will.
Jassy. All
So
right.
we have Jassy.
Anybody else?
We have 2 votes for Jassy.
Then Crystal.
Crystal, that's Crystal
Gittins.
Gittins, all right. So that's vote number 2. We need 2 more guys, just 2 more
2 more
persons.
persons. Yeah.
We didn't see Randy Horn tonight. Somebody
Yeah.
let him know that we missed him.
Yeah.
All right. So we need 2 more, just 2 more for us.
Who's
to-
Leah?
Leah.
Crystal.
All right. Another vote for Crystal. Leah.
Who's Jassy, Cleon, Crystal. So we're gonna shuffle it up, right, guys? So we write it down the 4 names and then we'll draw one.
We need one more name, guys. One more name. Jassy, Crystal, Leah. Now you all need to tell me who Leah this is. I'm not sure if I know.
David will tell us who Leah that is.
Is David put it there?
Yes, Leah
Oh.
Nicholas.
All right. Uh-huh.
Leah Nicholas. David, you're setting up the game, eh? You're
One more name, guys.
David partner.
All right. Well, we wouldn't take too much more time. We give you all a few seconds to give one more name if you could think of
Aaron
any.
Charles. Hey boy, a little wicked boy. Aaron Charles.
Aaron Charles. Well,
Alright,
boy.
that's it.
So before we do
Kemi,
the
well, really quite at it. Kyle. All right. Where's Adrian?
Kyle. All right. So let's put Kyle in there too, and Kemuel. And let's take a shuffle. Let's take a shuffle. Guys, before we go to that, next month we are dealing with the topic, how old is too old? How old is too old? Now, your mind could run with that from left to right. We're speaking really about how old is too old in terms of age difference in relationships. Is 10 years older too old? Is 20 years too old? I know a lot of persons. I know somebody who was more than 20 years older than their partner. Yeah. So that's what we're going to deal with next month, November, second Friday night in November. We're going to deal with how old is too old. And so this person who we're going to select will be with us, will hopefully be with us on the podcast here live. Hey, Kareina, you're dropping stuff. I hope this election's not rigged here.
Somebody say I'm here for that. All right. Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Everybody
Close
keep
my
your
eyes. All right. Kareina closing her eye too.
Who is it?
We have drum roll, Kemuel. Right. So we're gonna take a second runner up in the event that the first person isn't able to make. Although we trust him, Kemuel will be here. All right. Second runner up is scramble it. Aaron Charles.
All right.
All right, beautiful. So we have So we have Kemuel, and if Kemuel, well, Kemuel will come true. All right, beautiful. Well, tonight we have with us Pastor Randy Dixon. He is a married man of 14 years. He's the pastor of the Five Rivers, Lopino, Tacarigua, and Tunapuna churches.
That's quite a mouthful.
Yes, he is also a lecturer at the University of the Southern Caribbean, my alma mater.
And mine too.
Yes, that's actually where we met.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for another time.
All right. And so he is with us here to share on this topic, dating in 2024. Who pays? Good evening, Pastor. Lovely. Well, we knew you were in the studio there, laughing, making your contributions and stuff. You want to make any comment on any of the questions there that went prior?
I think these guys did really well. Like I was sitting there and I was thinking, I'm really proud of these young men.
Wow, nice.
Their responses were very mature.
Mm-hmm.
Really good perspectives, Christian perspectives. I think you guys did really well. I was like, what am I doing here? These guys are really, really good. So, accommodations to you guys.
Beautiful. I wish we had a little song thing. We'll get it one day now.
Yeah.
Stay with us. Stay on the channel. We get it one day where we have a little song part there.
We will put the bank account information. We get brief.
Oh gosh. We're so brave yet.
Number 4, right, Jayden?
Uh-huh.
The fourth question, the third question.
Uh-huh.
The 6-month question.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if it's 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
full red flag, purple flag, flag shaking, colors going to black.
Don't say flag changing color then. It's a rainbow color flag.
Going to black, it's 6 months. And of course, and as you said, if the person has a serious situation, and that's discussed before. And
Give him the other mic. Sorry, they say to give you the other mic.
Mm-hmm.
Please let me know if you're hearing online.
Yeah, is
You
this
want to
better?
get everything.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if as you said, Jayden, if the person has some really extenuating circumstances, it is discussed, it is revealed in the beginning, and you decide as the man, we're still pushing through with this because I'm interested, fine, because you understand the situation, right? But if it's just a case, every time we go out, I'm paying, even as you say, even looking at your handbag, even so, let me get the drinks, you get
Let me pretend.
let me pretend, let me take out my card, and let the guy say, no, it's okay. You're not even trying though. Yeah, that's a full red flag. And Jayden said something, and I was thinking that, and the Bible makes it clear, right, that love is given, right? And talks about esteeming each other above oneself. So if you're in a relationship, you want to ensure that you are doing your best to contribute to the benefit and the growth of that relationship as well. And and again, I think when the young man said it, though, like 6 months is real long to wait to realize this person.
She's not paying.
You gotta realize that. But I don't want to spend too much time. I think the guys did a really good job. So
we won't spend too much time again, but I just want to ask you, what would you do? How would you approach a situation like that?
To be real honest, right, bro, like I've never had that situation.
Praise God.
Never had that situation, even though I was dating and stuff. It was like, the young ladies, they were good.
Baby, that's how good young ladies.
Boy, shut your mouth, boy. My wife is Trini, by the way.
Praise God. Praise God.
We know Trini have good ladies.
Of
good.
course.
Good.
Papa,
Excuse me, we are on this show, bro. So I've never had that, but how would I? As I said, I wouldn't wait. One of the things for me in relationships on a whole, for me, this might sound bad, but I kind of assess from early and test from early, right? So I want to see the kind of person you are early. Yeah. Like I assess it early, see where you're going, see where your mindset is at, maybe create situations not anything bad, but Kareina looking at me like not anything bad, right? But like
Experiments.
Yeah,
in
you
here.
can-
no, like
It's on our
if you
YouTube
wanna if you say, hey, we're going, I might be like, yeah, you wanna go out? Yeah, sure, but I really holding nothing. You
Make a
understand?
channel for
And
how to catch a gold
You
digger.
know,
Right.
and see where she's at, right?
Yeah.
And see
Yeah.
where
If you
she's
say,
at.
that small thing, I will take care of her. So.
Yeah, you understand. Then I know, okay, well, yeah,
Yeah.
you're interested. But if you say, hey, Randy, let's go out. Let's go and get some doubles or gyros or something. And I say, well, yeah, that's a great idea. I would love to, but I really can't manage it financially. But like, well, check me end of the month. I know where you're at, right?
Yeah,
so from
yeah.
very early, I see where you're at, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta,
Yeah,
I can't maintain
And
that.
that's song advice for both males and females there.
Yeah,
Get to know your person early.
right. You
And
know,
what-
and that's a good point. Sorry,
Don't
because
waste time.
don't
Yeah.
waste time for
Don't
sure.
waste
And that's a good point. And that's what I wanted to speak about earlier. So we're talking about the dating and stuff and seeing where the person is at. But like, how is the relationship going before you get to the point of let's go out? Are you friends? Are you observing the person? The alignment in bigger groups? Like, how much of this person do you know? And I think even before you jump into that, yeah, let me go out. You kind of got to get to know the person, see the person. And even now, I mean, you were talking about social media. Sometimes the social media gives you a little clue as to how the person is as well, how the person is in certain situations and who they are and how they think, even with their profiles and stuff. You know, you might send them something and say, hey, I think one of the guys said it. What do you think about this? I see this. What do you think by this? This person saying the man should pay all the time. What do you think? LOL. And the person is like, yeah, boy. She got to pay all the time. You be like, red flag. You know, so get to know the person, you know, and see the person in different situations and contexts and that kind of stuff and see,
So-
you know, so it's going.
I like it, the comment, and I'm always an advocate for getting to know people very early. Don't waste people's time, don't waste your own time.
Yeah.
And
And don't trifle with heart.
don't trifle with hearts. Get to
Yeah.
know what you need to know early so you can know if to press. But just wanna start the ball rolling here a little bit further by asking. There's a young man. He's working. He's gainfully employed.
Okay.
He has a plan. David said, if you have no plan, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, waste man.
Yeah, waste
man.
man. But he has a plan, but he just has, for some reason or the other, financial management issues. For example, he may have grown up in a home where the culture
Right.
is bad spending. He's had false ideologies of how to utilize money, etc. So he's struggling with financial management.
Okay.
The question is, if he wants to date in 2024, what is your advice to him?
Well, first of all, I mean, as you said, he may have grown up in a home where he didn't see that kind of
Yeah.
management being exercised, right? He may have also grown up in a home like where he had nothing though, where he was poor.
Yeah.
You know, you got the opportunity, let's say through Gate. Thank God for Gate, Trinities. You know, you got to go to school, you get a degree, you do really well, you get a good job. And you'd be like, oh my goodness, I could have never afforded, like it was a me too my whole life though. I could have never afforded an iPhone,
Yeah.
right? Big up iPhone 16 Pro Max.
Hey,
Sorry.
hey, you have some guys inside of here will tell you, failure with that, eh?
That's
some others.
You know, and he gets the opportunities like what I really couldn't accomplish or
Yeah.
get when I was young.
Yeah.
I going through now,
No,
so it's
yeah,
nice
'cause I have the
clothes,
money.
nice car, and I got the money and thing now. But of course, in both situations, it is important that some financial management be taught. But if you don't come from a family who could teach you it, like your dad didn't teach you, your mom, you
Yeah.
didn't see it at home, you have no clue. You know, how do you really get to that place where you understand that you need help financially? Because you have to come to the place to understand, yeah, I need help. And everyone doesn't come to that point because some people believe I'm just gonna enjoy it. No, start with that saving thing when I hit 30. Because I'm looking to get married now, I'm going to save for that when I'm 30. But if it's a genuine challenge, and he has a challenge with spending and not financially, he doesn't practice good financial management. The question is if he should. I think you could still go on a date, right? Because I mean, you still like somebody, you still see somebody.
Because I was gonna ask
you
if you
still
had
want to be in a relationship,
a
right?
hold off.
I don't think you have to hold off. But at some point, hopefully, in my mind, especially from a Christian perspective, the whole purpose of dating getting close to someone is to lead to that, place of marriage and stuff, right? And if that's the case, I think you have to come to the point where you think, yeah, I'm dating this girl, we're doing the doubles and thing, we're doing the coconut water and jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, what am I required or to contribute to this for our future?
Yeah.
Right? And you have to come to that point where you realize, yeah, I can't be buying every time the iPhone change, I buy a new one. Every time a new pair of people still buy Nikes and stuff, those shoes.
Yeah.
I can't
Jordans on
spend
there.
that kind of. I have to kind of come to the point where I realize that I want to have a future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I need to adjust how I spend. And if it's a challenge, I need to find someone who can actually teach me how to do this stuff.
So I like what you're saying.
Thank you.
And it's a plug for you remember our financial gurus who were here.
Yeah,
Brian
yeah,
Jones.
yeah. Definitely.
Yes. Brian Jones is very good. So
Yes.
Yeah.
plug for him.
So I like what you're saying, and I want the rubber to meet the road in terms of a dating scenario,
Right.
because you mentioned a couple of times for them to get to that point of realization. The reality of it is there are large swath of our society that may never reach to that point, may never get to that point, that eureka moment. There are persons 50s, 60s and stuff who financial management is just.
Yeah.
And so it hinges on the next question, because you said that a man could go, you don't have to wait till you get it together to start going out on a date.
Right.
So the question is, you want to get married, you're on this date, how long should this woman wait for the man to get his act together? Financially. How long is too long for her to wait? Because she going out with him. First year, all right?
And he didn't really put in anything.
You
in
understand?
place.
He didn't reach to that point. Or maybe he reached to the point, but he's fighting against his nature,
Himself,
his upbringing.
Yeah, but
How long should she?
that's a good question. Pressure. But I think again, if your aim is to have a future together, because the
Right.
reality is, right, like each person is gonna have a challenge in the relationship. Each person is gonna have
An
something that
inherent challenge
an
that-
inherent
yeah,
challenge that they
yeah.
need to work on, right?
Yep.
His might be financial, hers
This
might be
psychological.
I hope the women know that it's Kareina who said that, not me, not Jayden. It was the woman who said that the women could go a little cuckoo sometimes. It wasn't me.
I didn't say that.
But so what I'm saying, right, is if we are at that point, the dating, you said like a year gone by and stuff, and we
Right.
realize, hey boy, we serious about this thing, you have to have the conversation, because you have to come to that point where if you're thinking long term, you're thinking marriage, family, etc., you're gonna have to start having that conversation. You're gonna have to be honest about where you are financially and what you're struggling with.
Yeah.
That's just basic. You have to get to that point. And I know of situations where people are married and the wife has no idea what the husband makes.
Right.
The husband has no idea what the wife makes.
That's
they
crazy.
just decided,
In the
you
words of
paying for
Joseph.
this, you
That's
paying for that,
crazy.
and we irate. I'm dealing with this, you dealing with that. I mean, fortunately for some of these scenarios, they're both doing well, so there's no challenge, right? They're both covering what they're supposed to cover, right? But you want to have that conversation because you want to be honest and say, hey, this is what's going on. So this car, I paying $4,000 a month for this car. I have 5 more years on it. I am paying for whatever else, and my salary is like $10,000. And when the month finishes or comes in, whatever the case is, I only have $500. Right? So it's cricks and cheese.
That's plenty, you know. That's plenty. I mean, guys, judge me if you want. I don't really care. But here it is. There are a couple times I go to the ATM and you pull your chit. There are some people who forget the chit inside.
Yeah.
There are some people who leave the chit in there.
Yeah.
And there are times where I look on the chit
Yeah.
and I realize people are suffering. If they have $500, they are plenty.
And at the beginning of the month.
At the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about your chit.
How you mean? So to me, I mean, $500 is plenty for some people. There are some people, you're in a Rima and whatnot, and you go, I might be behind them in the line, and it's mountain. And when they think so, the stoops, you understand? That money you come yet, boy.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's true.
We live in a society where a lot of people live
The
hand to
eagle
mouth.
has not landed.
And the question
Yes.
that's brewing in my mind as you speak is that, talking about people have different weaknesses. The question I have is it then that a man by virtue of being a male, is not allowed to have financial weakness. So a woman can have different weaknesses and stuff. But for a man, you can have other weaknesses. But in terms of our society, you can't have a financial weakness.
Yeah, I think that's because society, even church.
Well, this is what I was
we
going
preach
to say.
this man's to provide, and you
Priest
know,
provide and protect.
priest provide, protect.
You know that one is good, girl.
Yeah, good job, Jayden. and society from way back when you spoke about it earlier.
Yeah.
My brother talked about Internet Explorer and Netscape and thing. You know, back in the days, what was taught, what was expected, what used to happen. The context of society has changed so much now. We have both man and woman working, etc., and contributing equally to the home. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Keep talking.
What was the question again? About
in terms of a
Men
man
shouldn't
not
have
having
a
a
weakness.
weakness.
Right,
especially
right. So
financial.
yeah. So I'm saying then, as I said earlier, you know, the reality is that's not what it is now. You have so many different variables at play that affect both men and women in the financial space. And what I'm saying is you must allow for the man to recognize that this is a challenge that he has and address it. And you address it together, because something that happens even in relationships. I know of a couple. I was counseling, and they said when the relationship started, when the marriage started, the man was in charge. The wife
Right.
gave the man that responsibility financially, so he used to deal with all the finance and stuff. And then there were 1 or 2 months that things didn't go right, and then they had a discussion, and he realized that this really at my strength.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not managing the family's finances well, and he passed it on. He they had the conversation, and the wife was stronger at it. So you must have that conversation. You must, as a woman as well, and going towards that relationship stuff. You can't put that pressure on the man if he's not doing it the right way. Your responsibility for both ends, since both of you have weaknesses, that your responsibility, each other's responsibility, is to ensure that the other person is growing and that you're providing that support so that they can become the person that you really want them to be for the benefit of the relationship and the family.
That song real nice, you know. Yeah, it song nice, but
But-
sometimes when you're in a relationship, and I mean, a lot of people, and Renee, well, we had Renee Joseph, and she would say, financial challenges are the number one of,
Yes,
cause
Top
to
three.
of
divorce,
course,
top
yes,
three.
yeah.
And it can stem from challenges with financial provision, poor management,
Yeah, of course.
all of these things that maybe if the wife had put pressure on the man, it might have ended up different. I don't know. I'm just saying.
But I think
you
though,
know.
like that what's coming to my mind now is the whole thing of pride and yes.
Sorry to stop you.
No problem.
But
Stop me.
Shaniqua was actually saying in the chat, because our viewers, they're viewing and they're interacting. Shaniqua was saying she thinks that some men feel uncomfortable with their partner contributing due to pride.
Right.
Yeah, but Crystal is then saying those are the kind of fellas who, even if the wife has a higher earning potential,
Take your time. Take over, Jayden. Take over.
will want her to stay home with the kids. Wow.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
So
but
that's borderline abusive.
yeah.
And those guys, I mean, you have to check yourself. Guys, I mean, we have to be accountable. You have to check yourself. If you find it difficult for your wife to contribute because you have such an inflated ego as in terms of your grandiose self-importance and all this type of thing, then and you also feel threatened by her excelling in life and stuff, check yourself now. Go and check yourself into the nearest clinic. The therapy.
Yeah. And again, these are things that you should check early in the relationship too, though.
Yeah.
And that's why taking your time even in the dating game and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That courtship says taking your time. You see these things early though, and
Yeah,
these are discussions that you are, you're supposed to have, because you would know, hey, this is what my wife is. This is what this young lady is aiming to do, right? So before you guys got married, okay, Kareina is aiming to be Dr. Kareina and open her own practice. For example, Jayden is aiming to be like a coconut vendor. So I'm gonna, and you can be very successful at that, bro. So I am gonna. She's gonna make more money and stuff.
Coconut vendors.
No offense, I'm sorry. I love coconut. But You guys gotta stop that, But yeah, so you have to. So you see, these things early, though. So more than likely, Kareina is just gonna be making more than I am all the time.
Yeah.
And you have these conversations. How are we gonna deal with this? You have to have these conversations early. I was making the point on pride earlier. I think when we are talking about the finances, Kareina we were making a point before when I said something on pride.
You think it's because of pride?
Oh, yeah, I lost that thought. But I think, though, again, you really must come to that place. We're talking about when I spoke about the ideal and you said, but I think, you have to remove pride from the equation for what is best for the family.
Yeah.
Right? And if
Wow.
you're trying to grow together and you realize, I have that financial weakness, I spend bad, I am addicted to buying stuff, except whether it's the woman or the man.
Okay.
You have to be able to come to that place where for the betterment of the family, for us to move forward, that you kind of have to try to find a way to deal with it. So we talk about counseling a lot and stuff, and we want to do counseling for, if there is cheating, if the husband is or wife addicted to like social media or pornography or whatever, and you want to do counseling for things that we think like be real big. But as you said, and Renee said last time, the financial thing is a big thing, and you have to realize,
It is.
we may need that help though, because the wife may be thinking you're spending too much money, the husband thinking you're spending too much money. I'm like, nah, I'm not. Like, this is my money, like, but you may need that session with a
Yes.
professional to help you guys move past it. You have to put the pride aside. You have to want what is best for the relationship and moving forward and fix it. And that is part of the counseling services that we provide at Merge. Yes.
Thanks for that plug.
Oh, I love your jersey, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Great,
So we're going on to the second to last question, the penultimate question,
Alright.
and of course we'll end up with the last question is a bomb we're gonna drop here. I wanna ask Master. Go ahead, Green, with the second.
Well, we want to know if a woman is working and earning equally as the man, right? How often should she pitch in?
In the dating relationship.
In the dating
of course.
relationship. We're not talking about the marital relationship yet. Yeah, go ahead.
Because she might pitch in once in 6 months, and then
Yeah, she
after
said-
that for
she
2
said,
years,
"I
she say,
rocking back
she
there,
listened
yes?"
to the podcast and I
Say,
broke the
I
6-month rule.
I do my
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
That was
I
it.
did. Once a month. How often? I think, I don't know if you could really say
Give her
one
time.
time,
Yeah,
two
right,
times.
yes, yes.
Again, back to the principle of giving. You have to come to the point where, you understand that this is not about you getting.
Right.
This is not
Okay.
about you going and we rocking back and like we just eat. I just go in and I just enjoy and I fill in my belly, or even when it's your time to pay, we're gonna go to Hyatt. But when it's my time to pay, we're going by Sam's in
Yeah.
Q-Rep.
Yes,
You
yes,
know what I
yes,
mean?
yes.
But really understanding that in this relationship, again, dropping the pride, dropping the selfishness, dropping the ego and all of that, you have to understand. We're dating, we're trying to make this thing happen. You have to be able to. You want to come to the point where you're contributing. We're not counting. Like your
Okay.
turn, my turn,
Yes.
our turn,
Okay.
And again, the guy said it so well earlier. Having that open communication very early is important as well. Being able to speak about these things.
And I agree, you're not counting. You may not start off counting, but sometimes you are forced to count.
Especially if she's being
Because
unreasonable.
The other person being unreasonable.
Yeah.
So you look now, I look like I know eyes are cheapskate now.
Yeah.
Because I had to tell you, it's only once with the whole year you contribute.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's not that we counting, but at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes you're forced to count.
Yeah, but you remember you asked the question is how often should it happen? I'm saying
yeah.
it should happen regularly.
Regularly.
It should be, and it doesn't have to be 50-50 or as I said, but there must be. You must see that desire to want to contribute
Yes.
to the outing. and
Let
to
me
the
put you
this
on the
and that
spot.
kind of- Yes.
Do you have any personal experience you want to share of how you approach that, or anybody you know who approached
So
it?
you remember as I
Likewise.
said, in my, before I got married,
Right.
even my wife is like the biggest. And it's not because she's not watching. So
hey,
sorry.
hey.
let me WhatsApp her and tell
Wifey?
she would have been the greatest example of what it would be for someone else to contribute. I am naturally a giver, right? So I would be the one to give and to etc. You know?
Yes, he is a giver. Guys, let me bust his man files here.
Wow.
Last week, Friday, I was on the barber chair. Right, in the barber shop, this guy comes into the barber shop. I want to know who's this raucous guy coming in the barber shop. But he comes in anyways, and when he's leaving, he asks the barber, he say, I know big heads like this costs a little extra, how much for it? And this guy pays for my haircut.
Wow.
By the way, he hits
Thank
me
you
on the
very
back
much.
and he leaves. I didn't even get a chance to thank you. Thank you, Pastor.
No problem, no problem. Small thing, small
You know?
thing.
And
Yes.
so I mean,
He
you
is a
are a
giver.
giver, and what you're saying is that your wife is similar.
Very, very much so.
Wow.
Very, very much a giver. You know, and when we were dating, that it was never an issue. Like we'd go and
Outgive each other.
yeah, and that's the thing, right? It was I honestly I cannot
By
I
the way, I
can't
owe you a haircut.
yeah, you asked anybody barber today, right? I was like, I gave the bar my last $70 on Jayden. I can't cut my hair today. Yeah, but you know, and I can't remember ever having an experience with me where we went and I was like,
Right.
you know, it would be like. She'd be like, Ran, I got this. I'll be like, nah, I got you covered. You know,
Yeah.
I'll be like, you know, not even when we go out now, I'll be like, nah, like I got this. You know what I mean? And she'd be like, Ran, I will pay. If things rough, I'll be like, you got your card? And she'd be like, yeah, I got my card. I mean,
Yeah.
cool, right?
Yes.
So like, you know, I'm a giver, she's a giver. So that's one thing we don't. Finances have
Beautiful.
never been a challenge for
Praise
us
God.
because we're both givers and we appreciate each other. And 14 years later, it's still the case.
Praise
you know, like
God.
very recently, I did something extra and got some cash. I was like, hey, I was so excited.
cash,
I was
right?
so excited to get home and be like,
Uh-huh.
hey, I bought a card and everything.
Oh.
I was like,
Ah,
hold that. You know what I mean? I was very excited because
Yeah.
that's who she is to me.
Okay,
Right,
okay.
and that's who I am as well, right? So that works really, really well. And I'm saying then, fundamentally, you want to come to the place. It's not easy for everyone because, as I said, some people have. It's a struggle where some people they're scared to give of themselves to be like because they don't want to be taken advantage
Yes.
of, they don't want to
Yeah.
be used, they don't want to be
Yeah.
abused. It's hard for someone because they did not experience it when they were growing up. They did not see it in their home, etc., etc. So it's difficult. So everyone is not going to be like this, right? But you want to come to the point, as I said, with that biblical principle where you know, you do unto others as you have them do unto you, and you understand that it's better to give than to receive. Of course, you got to be smart, as I said, right? You can't be giving all the time. You got to manage it well. But I think, yes, if a woman is working and earning equally to the man, she should pitch in. And I want to say, even if she's not working, right? So this woman isn't working. Only the man is working. I think we asked that question earlier. Only the man is working. She isn't working. Like, you may not be able to pay for the date. You may not be able to be the one to offer us going on a date.
Yes.
But make a little cider and tomato choker.
So you could do something
Do
within,
some-
within your.
Do something.
Budget.
Right. Do
That's some
something.
2024 women there here. What's sad? What's not? What's
Not-
nice?
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I love Friday.
PTSD.
No, I'm saying, right? Do something that you can contribute, though. You know what I mean? Show that interest as well.
Box cake.
A box kit by Betty Crocker, like, you know, mix it up and do a thing,
What
right?
trouble is this?
Hey, let me go down. Yeah, you know, we went out last week. We had a real nice dinner. Thank you so much and stuff. But I really can't do that. But yeah, I want to spend a little time. Let me go down by the savannah, take a little walk, or throw a blanket in botanical gardens,
Right.
and I bring in a cake and some
can we-
coconut water. Big up the coconut water, and enjoy ourselves together. So you are showing that you're interested in
Can the
it
guy do
as
that?
well. Sorry.
Can the guy do that?
You have to ask the women. But it should go on both sides, though.
Yes.
And the point I'm making is that you have to show the interest in the relationship and giving something into the relationship. And I think for women as well, right? For reasonable women as well, I think that once a woman is seeing that interest and they're seeing that you're interested and you're making an effort, it's appreciated.
Yeah.
It's appreciated. You know what I mean?
Beautiful. Guys, so hear what? Go and climb the coconut tree. Get your cutlass, put it in your waist, get some rope. Go and climb the coconut tree.
You might make it back down for the date.
You understand? Make it nice. Give. If you can't give money, give something,
coconut.
man.
Praise
Give
the Lord.
something. So the last question we want to, before we wrap up, Pastor. In 2020,
Hold on.
With the future, 2020, 2010.
In 2024, he meant to say.
2024.
Yeah.
Can a man have value outside of his net worth in 2024? We ain't talking about any sight of God. All right? We know everybody's valuable in sight
It's in
of
the
God.
dating world?
In the dating world, can a man have value outside of his net worth? Looking at what the women and they thinking about looking for.
Value. Yeah, I think so. And I know you're emphasizing on this in this world, but I think so because I think that, as I said earlier, women are still looking for men who will care for them, who are ambitious, who will make good fathers and good husbands and good priests, etc. And your net worth may not be a whole lot. Again, the wife might be making triple your salary or 4 times your salary, etc., etc. But I think that that man can still have great value outside of his net worth because the reality is, right, you have men who are in a great financial place, but they're not good husbands.
Right.
They're not good fathers.
Abusive.
They're abusive. They make the money. They really don't contribute to the home. They contribute to themselves, make sure that they're always fresh and thing, and the house is
In a
struggling.
mess, the woman have to clean.
The woman
you
go
know.
do everything is a mess, you know what I mean? You're expecting, you may be in a situation where you expect the woman to, be a housewife, and she may agree, and that's fine, but you're not doing anything to help her improve herself because you want to maintain that financial control
You need her
over
to
the
be
situation.
subservient now.
You understand? So I think, of course, outside of your net worth, I mean, you want men, you want that, yes, the man is well off financially, he's doing well, he's managing his finances well, but above that, there's so many other things that are way more valuable to the relationship. Because again, right, you may be able to go on a nice date, and you, as the man, I bring out the young lady, and I pay, and we gone Hyatt or whatever the case is, Hilton, whatever, we're paying real good, and I pull out the money. But then when the waitress comes and she gets the order wrong, or the kitchen they get the order wrong, or she spills a little water on you, as the man, you behave real bad and you cuss out and thing. It shows who you really are. And that's not what we want. So not because you can pay for an expensive dinner, I really about the attitude, right? I remember, and I'll give an example, way back when I was
You hear
a
that,
young
guys?
fella.
Way back.
Yeah,
Right?
way back.
Not now disconnected.
Way back. I was, I don't want to say it was a date, but it's a young lady I was interested in. We used to hang out and stuff. And I remember, cool, and, she had a good job. I thought, good job, she settled. I thinking, all right. Possible. Something
Before
can
you go
happen.
on, thank God all it didn't work out.
Praise the Lord.
That's
Somebody.
wink wink for your wife.
Wink wink for
Yeah,
my
man.
wife. Amen. Trini wife. Amen.
Trini wife.
And I remember one day, Christian girl, it would meet, and she would sit, and she would be reading the SOP.
So why are they Christian like that? Christian.
Reading the SOP.
The spirit of prophecy.
The real thing, I'm like, good job. Intelligent.
Checking all the boxes.
Yeah, they're all right. And then one day, I went with her to collect an outfit from her tailor, seamstress, whatever. Seamstress. It was a guy. So if a guy make a
Tailor.
woman
Tailor.
clothes, is it still a tailor
Yeah.
or seamster? Sorry. So anyway,
English 101.
and I go with her, and the outfit isn't ready.
Uh-huh.
And this girl
Look trouble.
blast this man, like, behave real bad.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I was like, nah. And that was like a big red flag, full turn off. And I kind of just started to step away from that friendship, right? And I'm saying then, so she may have ticked the boxes financially.
Yeah.
Good job, ready, I'm like, yeah, okay. But yeah, certain is the personality just wasn't working out, right? So I'm saying, yeah, of course, a man could have great value outside of his net worth. And I think what's important, part of that value he would contribute is being one that is ambitious and one that wants what is best for his future family and planning. And that would mean then that he will try his best to get in a position where his net worth could increase, that he can provide for his future family. And that's what you're looking for, ambition.
I love how he rounded out that answer. So full.
Well said.
Yeah.
Because we're speaking to a generation here that we're looking at social media. We're looking at those. I look at those YouTube videos where those guys go on the street of Miami, LA, and they,
Get your gold digger.
you know, not just catching a gold digger, but they interview women and how much a guy needs to be making. And the women, and they generally, they don't go for guys who don't have bag, as they say.
Right.
You know, they say, I want a man who making at least 100,000 for the year.
It's always about the
At
money.
least a 150 for the year. At least a 60K for the year. You know, that's what they look at. There are very few that I have seen on social media where the woman says it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And she usually goes viral.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it is so
rare.
rare.
Niche,
Yeah.
it's rare.
That she goes viral for saying money doesn't matter. You know, as long as
Yeah.
somebody has, you know, these good qualities. And
Yeah.
I think we in Trinidad haven't really reached completely where certain first world countries are in terms of those things yet. But if we continue to consume the media
trajectory,
long
yeah.
enough, and that's
Yeah.
why we are here to provide this counterbalance, to say to you that money isn't everything.
Exactly.
There are many, many rich Trinbagonians, guys who have generational wealth, who treat their wives like dirt. Now the wives have the lifestyle. They're driving the Benz and
but
the
unhappy.
Audis and the BMWs.
Yeah.
They're in their homes, they're like palaces and stuff, but they have virtually no relationship with this man.
Yeah.
You know,
It's no value.
and what we're seeing is that there's value beyond finances.
Exactly.
And what we want to wrap up and round this up by encapsulating this whole thing is that for the men and for the women, remember that love gives.
Yep.
Love isn't a selfish thing. And if you find yourself in a situation with someone who is expressing a lot of selfish, even in financial matters and otherwise, you want to know that that's a big red flag.
Yeah.
That's a big red flag. And
And
I wanna commend
Right.
you for looking at that trait in that young lady and backing up, because in that scenario there are very few people. Some people will actually think you are kind of petty for backing off because of something like that.
yeah.
But I want to commend and applaud something like that, because the
Yeah.
reality of it is you were looking past beauty, you were looking past forms of godliness, you were looking past those things and looking for virtue.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's something that I want all of us to do, for look for virtue. Any
Yeah.
closing words before we put a wrap?
Well, yeah, as you guys said, you know, again, love is given. You have to really, you know, in this dating scenario, talking about the finance and stuff, you have to find someone who is willing to give, and the giving doesn't have to be financial. As I said, they may not be in a position where they could pay ever because
Yeah.
of this circumstance.
Well,
But you want that, as I said, you know, they are willing to show that interest by willing to contribute to the relationship. As I said, even if it's a lemonade they bring, and when we like, they're showing that there's that interest and that they're willing to give and that they're working towards giving, both from the man's side and the woman's side, you know. And talking about this, Jayden, I again speak about even my relationship, my wife, you know, coming to school. I mean, when I got married, I was a teacher. I had a, you know, full career going on,
right.
teaching quite a number of years. You know, my wife was, you know, very gainfully employed. She was a lecturer and stuff. And when we decided to come to school, I said to my wife, "Hey, I believe, you know, God is calling us to come to Trinidad for me to go to school." We prayed about it, and she was on board. And you know, I left my job, my business, everything, and we
Wow.
came up, and she made that decision. I should take care of. We had 2 kids already. I
Wow.
should take care of the family. She sponsored, sent me through school, everything.
Wow.
And you know, I graduated, and praise God.
Praise God.
I got employed immediately
Praise
and stuff.
God.
Amen.
And you know, it worked out. And I say this to say, you know, again, ensure that, I know this is not a sermon, but ensure that, you know, God is at that center, that He's guiding the
Yes.
relationship, that you're
Yes,
sure that this is
definitely.
the person. And when that person shows that love financially, however, they give you that support, don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Show the appreciation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Reciprocate, if possible, in the way that the person will know that you appreciate what they have done, right? So, you know, so I still do stuff like buy flowers for my wife, you know, if you know, and these little things, you know,
Yes.
we do the dinners and you know, and life is busy and life happens, but you have to show that appreciation. when that person continues to give you that support. So drop the pride, be selfless, esteem each other above yourselves.
Beautiful. Well said, Pastor. I must say that your experiences moved me. Yes, it moved me. Y'all ain't seen the tears. Y'all ain't seen the tears?
Oh my goodness. Oh God.
No, but on a real, I think such women are rare finds in this age. Women who are willing to, to be there and stand through thick and thin and hold. That's beautiful. That's actually real beautiful. And I want to implore the women who are looking here to go do likewise. I mean, I appreciate stories like this. It makes me to realize that all hope isn't lost. And I know that there are women who here looking now, who you have been that woman. And to you, I also want to applaud you and say kudos to you. You've stuck it out and you've been really that help and that support to your spouse, to your partner. And may God richly bless you.
I just want to add quickly, I know you want to give you the final say, but that point you made, I want to say that I have seen, even in the district, in the churches, there are young women who are that, they give that support.
Yeah.
I admire you and Kareina like tremendously and the relationship that you have, even before you got married, I admired Kareina because of the young lady she is. And you see that, these virtues and stuff in young ladies. So it's not lost. And you see in young men, these two young men tonight, I think they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Very mature young men. And I think, the future is bright. The relationships are bright.
Yeah.
And it's cider and tomato chocolate all the way. Praise the Lord.
So, guys, there you have it.
Note, yes.
Pastor Randy Dixon. We've been here tonight for a little bit talking about dating in 2024. Who pays? And we want to remind you that love gives. And Pastor is here and he reminds us.
Drop the pride.
Drop the pride. Drop the pride, guys.
And reciprocate.
And reciprocate. So, guys, we want to invite you back the second Friday night of November to what we be dealing with. How Old is Too Old with Kemuel. All right, and we're going to have another guest as well as a guru to come and treat with the topic, How Old is Too Old. Remember, when we finish this live, do us a favor. Please subscribe and share it. Post it as your status. Put it on your Facebook, etc. We want to really build this. Maybe one day we will have a nice meetup where we meet up all of our viewers who are online and we'll have a nice face-to-face something, all right? But until then, remember that we are always better together.
Better with you.
Good night.